Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. What we're going to be doing today, we're going to be doing a actual how-to on this Texas. It is reversed. So, as you can tell, it is reversed. Okay, so what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to pour some in. Well, actually, we're going to use this mold release. And then we're going to make our mixture. So I'm going to do an Astros, so it's going to be orange, white, and blue. It holds, I think, 56 ounces. So I'm going to have to just, I think it's like 18 ounces each. I mean, give or take, is enough to have a little bit left over. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so what I'm doing, going to be using a food scale. Glove up. Okay, so you want to make sure that your cups are good and clean. I know they don't look clean, but they are. And see what I'm going to do. And honestly, I haven't got any new cups yet, which is kind of a no-no. All right, so I'm going to use Flow Orange. I'm going to use white. Oh man, blue's all over that. Going to use blue, just translucent blue. And then I'm going to use this white. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I think it's, what's 56 divided by 3?
The answer is approximately 18.6.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is it's 18 ounces per color. So what I'm going to do 9 of B and then 9 of A. Okay. Start. Ooh. All right, so now that one's done, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna make, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically make all of the mixes together, and then I'm gonna add the colors, and then I'll do the mold. Okay, so we'll do another one. Make sure that you know how many ounces you're pouring, so that's why I like to measure it out on a food scale. And try to get them as close as possible. Now I think like the part A is 100 or is like 83 if you're going to do strict off measurements. I believe it's not 1-to-1 truly. I believe it's like 1 to like 100. So like if you're going to do 8 ounces of A, then the hardener, or I'm sorry, the hardener needs to be the 100, and the tabletop epoxy will be, I think it's like 0.83. So I mean it's close, but it's not exact. So as long as you have more hardener, it'll set up. Ideally, that's not, you want to measure it, but if you have a little bit too much hardener, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just whenever you have a lot more of the epoxy and not enough hardener, it won't ever set up. It's just you're going to have to redo it. Keep measuring. So I added a little bit too much in there, so I need to top this off by a little bit. Okay, like not even half an ounce. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add my colors to this. I gotta open it first, hold on. So this is pretty bright orange, so I'm interested to see how it goes. And then in this one, I'm gonna do my blue. What I'm gonna do, I don't need a lot of blue. This blue is very thick, so it's very dark. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stir these up for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna start on the white and let these kind of sit. So whenever you're pouring, or whenever you're mixing, you want to pretend like you're mixing a really hot cup of coffee for minimum of 5 minutes. Actually, you know what? Set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Counting down.
So you want to mix them like you're mixing up a really hot pot of coffee, and you don't want to spill it anywhere. Because whenever you mix it, you don't want to introduce a whole bunch of bubbles. So this orange isn't really orangey enough. I'm going to add some more color. Wipe off the tip. Keep going. See, this blue is really blue. Okay, so I'm going to kind of get this blue mixed up quite a bit. And then kind of get this orange mixed up quite a bit. I might have to add some more orange into this. I'm gonna kind of stir it. I'm not really like stirring hard, but I'm not really stirring, like I'm just kind of just stirring it. Like it's not, I just want it to be stirred. It's nothing crazy. So this orange, I'm going for an Astros orange. So you know what? I'm gonna add a little bit of white in it. I might have to do some more blue or some more orange to it to kind of brighten it up. Because this orange is very just not orange enough. See how I made it a little whiter? And you come in here and add some more oranges. Kind of shake it up. Get the color. There we go. The good colors, I guess, is down there at the bottom. So make sure to, so whenever you're mixing it, make sure to actually, oh, there we go. Now it's starting to get Astros orange. You know what, I'm gonna hold that upside down for a little bit. Now it's getting orangey. See how this blue is? This blue is just so, it's like almost like a purpley blue. Add a little bit of white to this too, just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Not a lot, just a touch. Just to kind of brighten it. Because if not, it's going to be too blue. Like this orange is pretty decent. I mean, it's still kind of dark, or it's still kind of. All right, so now my timer just went off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of set these to the side. And I'm going to do another batch, okay? And this time I'm just going to use white. Okay, so I'm going to go A first. 8.16. Go here. I'm going to go to 8.16. As close to it as possible. A little bit more. All right. right, so now that's done. Okay, so now we're going to be doing the white. So I want this to be like really white, so I'm gonna kind of drop a lot in. See how it turns out. It's always good to have like a rag or a towel or something just to kind of keep your gloves from being super dirty. And I know mine are dirty right now, but it's kind of one of those things. They're gonna get dirty. Just try not to mix any material. Like if you're trying to do white, try not to get like blues or grays or whatever. Set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Counting down.
Okay, we're gonna do a little bit more white. Add another timer. So while this timer's going, the other two, the orange and the blue, are just kind of hanging out. They're just kind of sitting there, kind of letting the bubble pop naturally. We're just gonna kind of see what it does. So as you're stirring, you want to make sure to kind of go slow and just kind of get it in there. So you want to stir for a constant 5 minutes, okay? Because you have to make sure that all the chemicals, all of it's mixed up properly. Because if it's not mixed up properly, then it won't set up, it won't set right, it won't really do anything like that. It'll just be kind of a mess. So kind of while this is, just kind of sitting there letting the bubbles come out, what I like to do is I like to make sure to clean it, clean the Texas. So I just got a little vacuum and I just try to suck everything out. Sorry for the noise. All the dust. It's kind of like you're mixing up a set of coffee. Then I'll go back over here, mix up this orange. See, this orange is a little bit too like red. I need a different orange, honestly. But I mean, it'll work for right now. Make sure this blue's all mixed up. Kind of do one of these, kind of mix everything. Kind of set those to the side, let those bubbles just kind of pop up naturally. So it says that you shouldn't use a heat gun because this is a silicone mold. It could potentially hurt the silicone. I do know that Crafted Elements said that you can get about 150, I believe, uses. Not uses. Oh, timer's done. Okay. So now what I'm going to do. Okay. So anyways, yeah, you can get about 150 sprays or about 150 uses out of a mold. Okay, so now I don't have any PPE. So what I'm going to do, okay, so just gave it a quick little good douse. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just blow it, but blow it away from the resin. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pour in, and then I'm going to have to hand mix pretty much everything like with my own, like I'm just going to have to basically pour it in and get some more rags. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe this blue off. It's a real pretty blue. And remember, everything is going to be backwards or reversed, okay? So you have to think about, it might look cool on the top, but this top isn't the top. This is the bottom. So this is going to be like what you see, like what you hang on the wall. All right. So now, see if that's in frame. Okay. So you know what? The timer just went off again. I'm going to stir this up a little bit more. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the blue, or I'm going to take the orange and the white first. Okay, I'm just going to kind of pour in here, just like that, set it down, get a little bit of blue, kind of pour it in like that, then a little bit of orange, kind of like so, a little bit of blue, a little bit of more orange, kind of just some white, just kind of all over. You basically want to just pour it all over and kind of just like make it not like a design, but you kind of have to just pour them in there because they're all going to marry together, because you don't want to swirl it. Like, this isn't something that you want to necessarily swirl, like stir, because whenever you stir it, all the colors really mix together. And you just kind of want to grab a clean stick, kind of let that orange drip. Okay, cool. Set that orange down there. Orange is done. All right, some white. Okay, cool. Set the white down. All right, last one, we're gonna go blue. Okay, this blue is really dark, so I don't know how it's going to be, how it's actually going to turn out, because it very well could, blue could be more potent in it. Okay, put that blue there. All right. So now, what you're gonna do, okay, you're gonna try to kind of move this up, kind of wiggle it all down, kind of get your finger in here and kind of swirl it. Okay, kind of just swirl it around, kind of move your finger, make sure you're getting all the way to the bottom, like so. Just kind of let it, make sure you're actually touching the bottom of it. And you want to just kind of swirl it like around in a circle, okay? Because what you're doing is you're actually mixing up the colors. Now I know I said earlier not to mix them, but you don't want to mix, you just want to just run them, okay? So what I like to do, I like to kind of do one of these numbers, okay, through on the bottom to where it's kind of just mixing, because I did one once and I didn't mix it right, I didn't stir it up enough, and it actually just came out all of the colors on one side. So you kind of have to make sure that you're sliding your fingers back and forth all the way to the bottom. I mean, this looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, now remember, deglove. Just be careful you don't get it anywhere. All right, throw gloves away. Cool. Okay, so now this is what it looks like. And then in a couple of minutes, well, actually not in a couple of minutes, and probably tomorrow or the next day, I believe it takes a couple of hours to cure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let it sit. I'll pop the bubbles probably once or twice. I mean, it's the back. I'm going to sand it anyways. And then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. And the demolding and all that. All right, so remember, this is the back. Okay, so it's been about 24 hours. So now I'm going to take it out of the mold. that easy. Okay. So, first impressions. It didn't really get all of the edges filled in right here. So, oops. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to put it back in the mold. But see, like this one's fine, but like all these. So now what I'm gonna have to do is put it back in the mold, sand it, sand all this down, and then put probably like an orange or a blue around it, whatever kind of color. And then this is the front. Okay, so this will have a Astro sticker on it. You can tell from where I started up with my fingers, but I mean, that'll be covered up with an Astros logo, but like right here looks pretty cool. I mean, it's still something to learn from, but this is just step 2. Next is the sticker and the clear. Well, I'm sorry, next is the sanding the back, like this spot and like this. Sanding all this down, putting it back in the mold, and then doing the sticker, and then the clear. Probably sand this little spot down. I don't know what that's from, but yep. All right. I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow. I'll probably sand it tomorrow, and then do the outside colors. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So got the front all sanded. Got the back all sanded. I'm gonna end up doing hooks about 1 inch up, so right, they're gonna be 2, like right about, probably right there. I'm not gonna end up doing clear on the back or anything like that, because I'm just gonna let that sit, because whenever it's hanging up on a wall, you're not gonna see those beveled edges. So next step is putting an Astro sticker right here, and I'll be doing that shortly. I got one ordered from Amazon and should be here tomorrow and the next day, but we'll pick up there. All right, so now got the sticker on. Now I'm gonna clear coat it. I think it takes about 13 ounces to clear coat, so I'm gonna do 14 just to have a little bit left over. That's the next step. And I have it setting up on some paint jugs or some mixing jugs to make sure it's level. All right, so I got the clear done. I haven't popped it yet, but I did use the vacuum. Sorry, my workstation is a mess, but I left it on for too long, and I got it to -29, but then I just left it on instead of stopping it, and it overflowed. So, I mean, luckily, I had enough material still. I ended up only doing a 10 ounce, so 5 and 5. So now, okay. Now, I just got to babysit it for another for basically all night. I got it set up in my garage, and yeah, I mean, it looks pretty much done. And then, you know, on the bottom it's dripping, so I'm gonna have to sand all that down tomorrow. But, should be done with it tomorrow. So, as you can see, it's very shiny. It's the, you know, garage light in the front. But put the clear on and it's done. It took probably a couple of days to do. It wasn't like super time consuming, but it did take a few days to do. The hardest, or the longest part is obviously, you know, letting the resin dry. So that being said, remember, I'm not a professional. I'm just trying to do this and help everybody out by giving kind of a how-to video. If you have any recommendations on how to make this better, please comment. Please help me out. If you have any thoughts on what I could do new designs, new colors, new logos, that kind of thing. You know, just I'm learning. So thanks, guys. You can buy these. You can buy custom ones, whatever. I'm gonna put a link in the description for the. Sorry, there's a plane. I'm gonna put a link in the description for for my website where you can buy them, and we can email. You can talk to me about what you want. We work together on what color and all that kind of stuff. I'm also gonna put a link to the mold from Crafted Elements. 100% would recommend it. You just need to either watch this video or try it yourself to figure out what works best for you. That being said, thanks for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, share with your local resin community. And I'm really enjoying this so far, and I really appreciate y'all being here. And remember, if you made it this far, just hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one.